Hey guys, today we're going to do a short object lesson on trust. We're going to base it on Proverbs 3, 5 through 6, which says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight." So just quickly, what does that mean? Basically, number one, trust. You have to believe, you have to give all your faith to the Lord. That means to God. That means that no matter what you say, I'm going to do it. And we say with all your heart, we're talking about in here. So like I said, a lot of times we think up here, man, I don't know if that makes sense. But right here we feel like it's the right thing to do. Just sometimes you get that feeling. You know, when your mom and dad say something, you just know that what they're saying is going to be okay. So that's when you're thinking with your heart. And the other part about your own understanding, that's up here. That's your head thinking. That's when you're trying to outthink God. Now, you know you're not smarter than God, so you shouldn't ever sit there and say, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I know better than God. That's crazy. We all know that. So trust. You have to believe and trust in God. And then the second part says that He will make our path straight. That means He will never do anything to harm us, to mislead us. He will always make us go the right direction, and that direction is always headed towards Him. Whatever He has in mind, wherever He wants you to go, is always best. So it goes back to that word trust. So what we're going to need today, this is stuff that you hopefully have at home, and maybe y'all could do it with me. Okay, so we're going to need just a regular plate. Like I said, mine's red just so you could see the items on it a little bit better, but any plate should work. Salt, pepper, and a plastic spoon. Now, it does need to be plastic spoon. That's about the only thing you can't swap out. But salt, pepper, and a plastic spoon. Okay? And with this experiment, we're going to learn how God can protect us, take us out of harm's way, and keep sin out of our lives. So let's try it. First thing we have is our plate. Now, the plate is going to represent the world. It's going to represent where we live. Okay? So we're just going to place that on the table. Then we're going to take our salt. And our salt is going to be all of God's people. Okay? So this could be us. And we're just going to take the salt and we're just going to sprinkle it enough so you have a nice little pile in the middle of your plate. And you want to kind of try to keep it all together as much as you can so that you can see it in a nice little group there, if you can see that. Okay? So now, there we are. God's people, Christians, are in God's world. Now, unfortunately, we all are going to do things that we shouldn't. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to have temptation. We're going to be with our friends, and they're going to talk us into doing something we shouldn't. And there's sometimes that the devil is just going to come in and going to cause problems. All these things are going to be represented by the pepper. Now, the pepper is black. And when we think of black and we think of bad things in the world, we usually think of this one little word that has 3 letters in it. Can anybody guess it? Okay, sin. If you said sin, you're right. So I'm just sprinkling some pepper in my hand. And I'm going to take it. And I'm going to just pinch it. And I'm going to put it in the middle. The reason I'm not shaking it is because I want to make sure that it gets in the middle of the salt. So it's on top of us. So just like sin does, it just takes you over. Okay, so if we can see that, sin is just all over us. So, you know, when we're white and we're pure, but then the sin comes in, and then instead of seeing all the white, all we see is the black. We see the sin. So how do we get rid of that sin? Well, we can try to do better. We can try, but we can't do it on our own. This is when God comes in. This is what Jesus is for. Jesus just says, come to me, trust me, and I will help you. So we're going to say that this spoon is God, okay? So I'm just going to take it, and I'm just wearing just like a regular t-shirt, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to rub it really fast. Okay? And then I'm going to take it, and I'm just going to put it over the salt and the pepper. Okay? Okay, can you see? it's picked up a lot of the black. So just by us asking God to help us or forgive us, it's picked it up. But then there's still sin there because unfortunately, we sin again. Wish we could say we wouldn't, but Jesus knew that. That's why he went to the cross. That's why he saved us from our sins. So I'm just going to come back here. Okay, and I'm going to do it again. See? Can you see it again? There it is. And then if I wipe it off, see, it's clean. So I'm going to do it one more time. So, you just put a little bit of pepper on. It'll clean it all off the first time. But I put a lot on, probably more than I usually would, just so on the video you could see the black and the white. So that's went in there, and I did it one more time. Okay. And see, got some more. And then if you're looking in the video now, before we could see a lot of black, now we don't see very much at all. So this is just the reason that we should always, always trust Jesus enough to tell him what's going on. He can help us with our problems, and he will always, always forgive you. So, was I right? Did yours work? Hope you did it with me. That's pretty cool, huh? So sometimes you look at it and you say, there's no way that's going to work. But God can do anything. Sometimes you just have to believe. Sometimes we do have to see to believe, and that's not always a bad thing. But you always have to trust that God is doing what's best for you. So again, remember, look up Proverbs 3:5-6, and we'll say it one more time. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. But in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Thanks for watching. God bless. See you next time.